Coronation Fund Managers is known for generating returns that outperform the market. However, in the past 10 months, the share price has fallen close to 40%. This week, it reported a 7% decline in revenues to 4.4 billion rand. This is as investors withdrew funds from emerging market equities as well as currencies. But to tell us about the outlook for this particular company, I'm joined by the Finweek contributor, Moxima Gama. She also joins us from our beautiful Cape Town studio. Moxima, thanks for your time. Looking at Coronation, of course, quoting the fact that it's down almost 40%. African bank collapse. How much of the decline can we attribute this to?
Well, quite a lot. It was quite an embarrassing call on their side, which they at least admitted to. So what happened is they increased their position, or they bought more Ables to at least increase their position to about 22%, and then soon after they declared bankruptcy, which was just absolute carnage for the share price. In my view, if you looked on the monthly and the weekly chart, Coronation was extremely overextended, and this piece of information was just a catalyst, or it triggered that sell-off. So a correction was due, and the Able news just pulled it down quite a lot.
Moxima, we actually had the chief executive in studio during the course of the week with their numbers, and they did flag that the current market volatility is going to continue to be a headwind for them. What does this mean for shareholders?
I think they were generally just warning shareholders that they won't get those returns in the opulent times. I mean, that's the time when the market was hitting new highs and it was quite bullish. So a lot of what has happened is with currencies, well, our rand depreciating and commodity prices plummeting, that's really affected the major players in the market, which would be in the portfolios, which a lot within all the fund managers. And fund managers have now had to either pull out of the market, keep cash, or invest in government bonds, which don't give a return that is as quick as equities. So I think on their side, they were really playing safe, avoiding any risk, but just by telling them that, listen, returns might not be as you expect them as they used to be previously.
From the 1st of October, I think they also mentioned that they'd be making some changes to their fee structure. They did say that their performance fees was also another pressure point there on their earnings. But maybe just give us more understanding on these changes that they're making in terms of their fee structures.
So they're trying to make them more transparent or comprehensive. They're scrapping away performance fees, inevitably with what's happened in the market, and now are using a more fixed fee structure, which they believe would be easy for the client to understand or compare, as well as easy for them to pay. They're also kind of moving the benchmark in their portfolio to the all-share capped market, because there's been a bit of controversy as where to, or rather mattering as to where to benchmark emerging markets, and they've decided on that on the all share capped index.
So Moxima, give us the outlook for this particular share. How should we be trading this?
So I was pretty bearish around May. I did call it a sell around May, with the target being around 61. It's kind of at least troughed at 65. When I wrote the article, it had breached the resistance trend line of its medium-term bear trend, and it's seemingly gone back into the bear trend because of at the back of their results. But I wouldn't completely discount the share. I do see a bit of sideways momentum between 75 and 63. So I would only then initiate a long position around 75, as that could then pull it back up to that 95 rand mark. So expect a bit of consolidation, but I think the sell-off is probably is now quietening down, but I definitely call it a long around 75.
Moxima, thanks so much for that, as always, giving us your view on those market movements and making sense of them. That is Moxima Gama, Finweek contributor. Up next, let's take a look at this week's cover story.